All right, Mr. Emmett here for 7.1 part 2. Goal for today is still working with interior angle measures of polygons. We're going to take what we talked about in the previous video and start putting into action to solve some problems. So just a brief little review. Recall the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a triangle is always 180 degrees. There's 3 sides and 3 angles in a triangle. And with the quadrilateral, remember we could divide that into 2 triangles. So the sum of their interior angles measures is 360 degrees. So that's for a quadrilateral. We also discussed that the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a convex n-gon is n minus 2 times 180, where n is the number of sides. So in the figure on the right, n is 6. There's 6 sides. There's 6 angles. And you would be able to find the sum of the interior angles by taking 6 minus 2 times 180. Make sure you use parentheses if you're typing that into a calculator. So we're going to hop in doing some example problems here. So the first one says, find the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a convex nonagon. So a nonagon had 9 sides. I don't remember that one, so I'm going to use the formula, 9 minus 2 times 180 degrees, and then we'll get our solution. Make sure when you type that in, like I said a little bit earlier, use the parentheses. So we need to do 9 minus 2 in parentheses times 180, and we get 1260 for a nonagon. All right. Next one says, find the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a convex decagon. So that's 10 sides. So we do 10 minus 2 times 180 degrees. And that is, using my calculator, 1440. And so we would know that all 10 angles have to add up to 1440 degrees. All right, moving onward here. A little bit more of a difficult problem. This one says the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a convex polygon is 3060 degrees. Classify the polygon by the number of sides. So we need to figure out the number of sides. So keep in mind, with our formula, n minus 2 times 180 degrees is equal to the sum of interior angles. In this problem, we know the sum of the interior angles is 3060, so that goes here. And that's equal to n minus 2 times 180 degrees. So we need to solve this equation. For us to solve this, the first step is to divide both sides by 180. And let's see what we get. 3060 divide 180 is 17. So n minus 2 is equal to 17. For us to finish, we still have to isolate n by adding 2. N is equal to 19. So it's a 19-sided figure, so we'll call that a 19-gon. There's probably a name for it, but I don't know what it is. Up to 10 is what we really want to know. 12 is a dodecagon. A 12-sided figure is a dodecagon. All right, so next one says we have to find x. So when I look at this diagram, first we need to figure out how many sides it has. How many angles does it have? It has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. So it's a 4-sided figure. Now, with the 4-sided figure, I just know that one. A quadrilateral, the sum of the angles is 360. So since it's a quadrilateral, I'm going to abbreviate. I'll write out the whole thing. Quadrilateral. So we know that's quadrilateral, so it has to add up to 360. So we'll say 360 is equal to all 4 angles added together. Then we can find the missing one. So that's x plus 71 plus 135 plus 112. So when I combine the like terms, I'm going to use a calculator for that. 71 plus 135 plus 112 is 318. And then we'll subtract our 318 from both sides, and we get 42. So that was pretty easy because it was a quadrilateral. We knew what the angles added up to. And this next one, again, we have to figure out how many sides it has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has 5 sides. So when it has 5 sides, that's not one that I know off the top of my head, so I need to figure out the sum of the interior angles. And 5 minus 2 times 180. The formula is n minus 2 times 180, so n is equal to 5. It's a 5-sided figure. So 5 minus 2 times 180 is 540. So the sum of the angles is equal to 540 degrees. So in this problem, we know that all the angles add up to 540. These two congruent marks tell me they're the same. I'm supposed to find angle K, so this is X. That's what I'm finding. This one here is also X, because those are the same size. So X plus 68, all the angles, plus 105 plus 109, in this case, is equal to the sum of the angles 540 degrees. And now we'll solve. 2x, combine like terms. Again, calculator for the others, 105 plus 68 plus 109. 282 equals 540. So subtract our 282 from both sides. And I got 258. Then divide by 2, 129. So if X is 129, that means angle K is 129. So as we're looking at these problems, the first process is determine the number of sides. After we determine the number of sides, what's the sum of the angles? Then we can set up our equation. So how many sides does this one have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. Okay, so n equals 5. So 5 minus 2 times 180 equals the sum of the angles. All right, so let's see here. We just did that on the last page, it's 540. So all the angles have to add up to 540. So I'm gonna say 2x plus 142 plus 2x plus 3x plus 14 plus 3x plus 14 equals 540. Now I have to combine like terms. If you combine like terms before you wrote it down, that's fine too. Like I might have done 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10x. If you want to go about it that way, I'm cool with that. So when I add them up, 2x, 4x, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we have 10 x's. And then we have a 142, we have a 14, and we have a 14. So 142 plus 28 is 170. And we'll finish solving. 540 minus 170 is 370. Divide 10, and x is equal to 37. So we found x. All right, last example here. All right, so this one says how to solve for the measures of one interior angle of a regular polygon. So for us to find one interior angle of a regular polygon, we talked about that the first day. You might have to look back in your notes, but we wrote that on the Sum It Up page. Each interior angle, or an interior angle, of regular polygon is equal to n minus 2 times 180, and then we had to divide it by the number of sides. So we did sum that up in the first video. We didn't go over that again today, so we're going to use that. So it says we are looking at an octagon, which has 8 sides. So we want to find one interior angle. So for us to find one interior angle, I need to put 8 in for n. So I'd have 8 minus 2 times 180. And then we're going to have to divide that by 8. Make sure we follow the order of operations here. So on the top, when we simplify, we get 1080. Then we have to divide that by 8. And we get 135. So each interior angle is 135 degrees. All right, that's it for day number 2. Have a good one.